Hi everyone. It's time for today's video based on New York Times connection game. It's basically a game where you create four groups of four words from 16 given words. You have seen the thumbnail, so you know what the first group we are discussing is. Watch to the end of this video, and I will also tell you the other three groups of four words, what each word means, and what they have in common. Start today's puzzle. These are so the first word for predicaments is binds. So I'm in a bind right now. I can't help you. I'm sorry. As in, I'm in a predicament. I'm in a difficult situation myself. I can't be of help to you. Bind means to be, the verb to be bound the verb to be bound is a past tense of bind, right? So I am bound to secrecy, as in I have to be, secret. Binding, something that is binding, that it's connecting two things together. They're bound together because there's a binding, right? And then we have the expression, the word binder. Binder is where you have a bunch of papers in a binder. But the expression predicament here means I am in a bind, right? And then they're bound to find out, bound to, as in they will find out one way or the other. Binding is this agreement binding, and it does that have a legal standing? Okay. The next word for a predicament is a jam. I'm in a jam, man. I can't help you. I'm in a jam right now. Can you please help me? Jam, in a messy situation, in a bind. I'm in a jam. Now, jam, I did a video for this early on. Jam, you can have a traffic jam. That means that, there's a traffic jam, no car is moving, right? It's like a parking lot. But then if you're like a musician, you can have a jam session, like all these musicians are jamming together. But also the same jam you can be jamming the radar, right? When your radar jamming, then they can't, or they can be jamming the frequency. So jamming there means to be interfering with it, to kind of mess with it. Jam also means marmalade, right? Can we have some jam? Can we have some marmalade? And jam, so yeah, pickles is another word for predicament. You're in a pickle, mate, one way or the other. Either your wife will find out or your boss will find out. Pickle usually means in a situation where there is no wind. So pickle, I have no idea. Another word for it probably would be conundrum. So pickle, of course, pickle in the simplest form, it means, pickle is usually I don't know if gherkin is a word for it. Pickle, I think another word for it is gherkin. So pickle is usually cucumbers, right? That are, pickled. So that's the word pickle. When you pickle, then it's a certain action, kind of like putting something in, I don't know, vinegar and keeping it and ferment it or something. That's why you can have pickled onions, but pickles itself is just one thing. But pickle itself is pickled little cucumbers, right? But they can have pickled onions and pickled, I don't know, probably mushrooms or whatever. The last word for predicament is spot. Spots here. It says, I don't know why it says spots. Well, because it's a plural. Sorry. Okay. Predicaments is spots. He put me on spot. I wasn't predicting this. And my boss put me on spot. When you put somebody on spot, that means you suddenly make them uncomfortable by asking them something that they weren't preparing for. I don't want to put you on spot, but why did you write this book? So when you do this, putting somebody on spot means making them suddenly being the center of attention without them knowing it. That's the predicament side of it. But spot itself, like spots, is spot is usually like a dot, right? So whatever, is a Dalmatian, I think. They're spotty. They have all so that's the adjective for spots, spotty. Spotty means that full of spots, right? And then this is my spot, as in this is my place, right? Like we go to, why are you always sitting in this chair? This is my spot. This is where I sit. We go to a restaurant. You always in this restaurant. This is my spot, right? So that's my spot means that this is where I go. And then you can have Wi-Fi spot or where's the Wi-Fi spot? Can get the Wi-Fi connection. But then we have a thing called blind spot, right? That's a blind spot, as in I didn't see it. I didn't know what to predict. That was a blind spot for me. And then spot and spots. So let's see. We have blind spot, and then we have spotty, to put somebody in spot, and then spotting somebody. You spot him? Can you spot my husband in this group? Right? Spot to recognize somebody in a group. Can you spot if you look at this picture, can you spot that my hat has, has a flower on it? Spot it. Spot it. As in, I noticed it, I saw it. And blind spot. And there are spots in this that then they don't get any Wi-Fi connection. So yeah, those are all the words for predicaments: binds, jams, pickles, and spots. Hey there, friend. Nice to meet you. I am Hamid. Sorry for the interruption. If you are enjoying this video and are looking to take your English fluency and vocabulary to the next level, I've got something special for you. I offer personalized one-on-one coaching sessions tailored to your unique goals and interests. Whether you're focusing on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or all around communication skills, I'm here to help you master English in a way that's fun and effective. Ready to elevate your English? Click on the link in the description below to book your session with me today. Let's embark on this journey to English mastery together. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks on mastering English. So these are all the words that mean breathes heavily, gasps. Now, gasp really doesn't have a lot of meanings, but that's gasping. Sorry to expose you to that sound, but that's gasping. Like you run so fast, like, oh, I don't run anymore. That's gasping, right? And, so it doesn't have a lot of meanings. It's usually that sound that, when you heavily breathing. But then we have an expression, last gasp. These are last gasp efforts, as in, this person has no other alternative. This is their last gasp. This is the only thing they know how to do. Last gasp efforts. And then breathing heavily, huffs. Oh, I guess, huff and puff is something, and I don't usually use this. Pants, and I actually did a video on this. Pants is the same as gasp. So panting is that verb that it means that. But of course, pants, short for pantalones, means slacks in England. Actually, I don't know, slacks pants is American. Trousers is the British version. Slacks, maybe both. And yeah, so that's pants. Could be, pants or, slacks or trousers, or you can be panting, as in that sound. And then puffs, which is breathes heavily, puff. And I guess that's huff and puff. And puff is usually, again, it's not I don't usually use it, but you can puff smoke. He puffed his smoke in that's puffing. Puffy means kind of bloated, right? So he's got a puffy face, kind of like bloated face. But also we have a word like puff it up, kind of like make it like exaggerated, puff it up. Or, I think you could use puff for like puffy pastry or something. Okay. And then these are all the words that preserve as meat. So can, like cans, preserves as meats, cans. So you put meat in a can, but also you can fruit so basically canning means to put stuff in a tin can. That's the meaning of the word can. And of course, can in its simplest form means, means to be able to, the auxiliary verb can. But here it means to basically can stuff. But it also, I did a video on this. Can also means kind of stored and from before. So this is a canned conversation, as in we have talked about this before. It's canned, as in it's already, like, it's already taken care of. It's already done. This is a canned message, right? That is already, in recorded. But can usually is like this tin bottle or something, or tin can. And so I think sometimes people use can for the bathroom. I'm going to go to the can. So preserves as a meat, also cure, because you can cure meat to conserve it, to preserve it. And cure, of course, in its simplest form, means to help somebody, to heal somebody, to treat somebody. That's cure. Oh, I guess my blindness is cured. Now I can see. Right? Or oh, my deafness is cured. Now I can hear. So cure can cure me. I have a problem that I have to always wear a hat. So that's cure. And so other than meat and that cure, I don't see a lot of other uses for the word cure. Salt is preserve. You can meat preserve when you salt it. You preserve meat with it. Salt, salt is usually that white material, NaCl. I think the chemistry thing is sodium chloride, and then salt is like, but salt is not always that. It could be salt of, we have an expression, salt of the earth. This person is salt of the earth, which means they're very grounded. They're very kind of connected to earth and farm or something. But salts in general are powder. Like bathroom salts is something they use, and it's just powder. It's not the salt that makes things salty. And then you can preserve meat by smoke. And smoking, you put it on the thing in the fire, so it catches smoke. And the thing about smoke is, smoke basically is, do you like to smoke? That's what that is. My answer is, I smoke when my head is on fire, right? Because I don't smoke, but when my head is on fire, I'm smoking. So in that sense, smoking, I can smoke a cigarette and then, but my head smokes like this thing. So in that sense, is can have a subject, also can have it without subject, right? This is a smoky, and then the adjective for it is smoky. It's a smoky room, or you got a smoky voice. It's all connected to smoke. It's not that different. Finally, the last group is things in my favorite things. And my favorite things is a song in the movie Sound of Music with Julie Andrews. Things in my favorite things is kettles, means, kettle, the thing that you pour water for tea in there. Kettles, kettle. And then we have an expression, a watch kettle never boils. As in, if you pay attention to something constantly and don't, just let it go, it will never happen. So kettle is one thing. Mittens. Mittens is another thing in my favorite thing. And mittens are just the gloves that have no fingers. So if you have just one finger here for your thumb and the rest is just one thing, that's mittens. Raindrops, of course, is the water that comes from sky. And these really don't have multiple meanings. Raindrops is raindrops. I can't really tell you anything else about it. And whiskers. Now, whiskers is the cat's whiskers. Cat has a whiskers, right? Or lion has whiskers. So whiskers is basically the mustache of an animal. It's called whiskers. But whiskers also can be a human thing. And when I have whiskers, like in the Latin, whatever, in the old Europe, they had really long whiskers. That was whisker. Now, if you want to use the word whisk, it's a completely different story, because whisk means, it has a lot of different meanings. So whisk is one thing is that when you are like mixing, I don't know, your banana milk or something, you're whisking it, kind of mix. But then we have the expression whisk off. They whisked her off, as in they took her really quickly and efficiently. So, well, I hope you had fun, and I hope, you come back tomorrow. Take care.